So, how long can a dog go without water? If you're a dog owner, it's a question you've probably asked yourself. And on the surface, the answer seems pretty simple. But as we're about to find out, that simple answer isn't just a little bit off. It can be downright dangerous. Let's get into it. Right. So if you were to Google this is the number you'd see plastered everywhere, 2 to 3 days. It's the standard, generally accepted rule for how long a healthy dog can technically survive without any water. It's kind of the number we all think we know. But, and this is a huge but, clinging to that 2 to 3 day window is an incredibly risky gamble. Why? Because it's just an average. It completely ignores a ton of critical factors. And in the real world, the timeline for serious, irreversible trouble is often much, much shorter. To really get why that number is so misleading, we have to look at what's actually happening inside a dog's body when the water starts to run out. This is the science behind the dehydration danger. So first off, what exactly is dehydration? Well, it's pretty simple. A harmful drop in the body's water level. And for our dogs, this is a massive deal. I mean, think about it. A staggering 60 to 70% of their entire body weight is water. It's crucial for literally everything, from digestion to keeping their body temperature stable. Now, what's really shocking here is just how fast things can go downhill. In only 6 to 10 hours, the body is already in trouble, and you'll see that in increased panting as it struggles to cool down. Fast forward to the 24-hour mark, and things get really serious. The blood actually starts to thicken, which puts a huge strain on the heart, and the kidneys start taking on damage. And by 48 hours, you're looking at severe neurological problems like disorientation. We're not talking about days here, we're talking about hours. And this quote from a veterinary expert just hits the nail on the head. The real question isn't about that absolute survival limit. It's about how fast we, as owners, can step in to stop damage that can't be undone. Because permanent kidney failure, that can happen long before we ever get close to that 3-day mark. Okay, so let's build on that, because this is where that whole 2 to 3 day rule just completely falls apart. You have to remember, every single dog is different. Their needs can change dramatically based on a whole bunch of different factors. Just take size, for example. A tiny little Chihuahua is kind of like a smartphone with a really small battery. It's got a super high metabolism and not a lot of fluid reserves to fall back on. It can be in serious, serious trouble in less than 12 hours. And then on the other end of the scale, you have a Great Dane, who might need up to 1.5 gallons of water on a totally normal day. Their sheer size creates this huge constant demand. And it's not just about the dog, right? It's about the environment. Check out this chart. If you take your dog on a hike up above 8,000 feet, their water needs literally skyrocket by 50 to 75%. That's because they lose so much more moisture just by breathing in that thinner, drier air. Then you've got all these other variables to think about. Those cute, flat-faced breeds like pugs, they can't pant very efficiently, so they overheat and dehydrate way faster. Certain health conditions like parvo can be absolutely devastating, causing life-threatening dehydration in as little as 6 hours. And of course, age and how active they are play a massive role. The big takeaway here? Context is everything. Okay, so we know the risks. We know it's serious. Now let's talk about solutions. This is your practical, hands-on hydration toolkit, the stuff every single owner needs to know to keep their best friend safe. This right here is probably one of the easiest and most important checks you can do at home. It's called the skin tent test. All you do is gently lift the skin on their back, right between the shoulder blades, and then just let it go. In a hydrated dog, it snaps right back into place instantly. If it goes back down slowly, that's a classic sign of dehydration. I like to think of it this way. Are you checking a dog or are you checking a raisin? You want it to snap back. So, besides that skin test, here are a few other early warnings you need to have on your radar. Check their gums. Are they slick and pink, or are they feeling kind of tacky and pale? A dry nose, sunken-looking eyes, or a sudden dip in their energy are all big red flags. Honestly, catching these signs early can be the difference between just giving them a bowl of water and a frantic, expensive trip to the emergency vet. So, what do you do if your dog is just not a big drinker? Here are a few really simple hacks. Sometimes just adding a couple of ice cubes or getting one of those pet water fountains makes it more interesting for them. A tiny splash of some low-sodium chicken broth can work like magic. And hey, don't forget about their food. Switching to wet food, which is mostly water anyway, or even just adding a bit of water to their dry kibble can make a world of difference. So after looking at all the science, all the risk factors, and all the solutions, We land on what is, without a doubt, the most important message in this whole explainer. Here's the big takeaway. This is not about memorizing that 2 to 3 day number. The real goal is to completely shift your mindset. It's all about proactive prevention. It's about making sure your dog is so well hydrated that they never ever even get close to that danger zone in the first place. And when it all boils down, it really comes down to something incredibly simple. The single most effective, life-saving thing you can do for your dog doesn't cost a lot of money or require any special training. It's just a full bowl of clean, fresh water that's always there for them. And that brings us to our final thought, a question I want you to take away from this. Is your dog's water bowl full right now? Seriously, go check. It's the easiest thing you'll do all day to keep them safe and healthy.